Good morning, my name is Jane Kennelly and I'm here to report this quarter's market update. Now I have a range of things to whip through, so I'll go through them as quickly as possible, and of course if there's anything you wish to know more about, you are absolutely welcome to make contact with us. First and foremost, on the topic of salaries, we were expecting to see some increases this year around the 3.2 to 3.5% mark, but in fact the picture has remained quite static. Certainly media reports have supported this in recent weeks, and it'll be interesting to see what the second half of this year produces. But at the moment, it seems to be business as usual in that department, and we will have our new salary survey up on the website at the end of this week, so by all means do visit there, no login required, and check out the ranges for yourself. Now secondly, skill shortages. And no market report will be complete without touching on those at the moment, because they do exist in New Zealand in a range of areas. But SEEK reported earlier on this quarter that there are a couple of areas that you may not know so much about. One is in the area of HR and recruitment. There's been a 45% increase in the number of roles being advertised in this area. And also in the area of customer services, with a 43% increase, which really supports that drift of customer services operations coming back to the New Zealand market. So it's no wonder these people are incredibly difficult to find. Number 3 on the list, as far as this report's concerned, is the increase in leadership development and training. Now, over the last few years, the hot ticket item was outplacement, and we all know why that was the case. But this year we have seen a dramatic increase in the number of leadership development programs that are being invested in. So earlier on this year we did interview Jane Davis from Activise Limited about how best to select the right leadership and development program for your team so that you're not wasting your money, that you're investing wisely. So we do urge you to visit our website and check out that particular interview, because it's a great source of information. Now next I thought I'd touch on a couple of fascinating Auckland facts, as reported by Jeff Cooper, the Chief Economist for Auckland Council. Now he presented at a recent HRINZ forum, and amongst all of the statistics, which were fascinating I might add, he did report the following. Firstly, Auckland actually is responsible for half of the population growth in New Zealand. And secondly, every 22 minutes a new person arrives in Auckland. It's just astonishing. So the growth and expectation over the next 5 years is something that we all really need to plan for as employers. There is no doubt about that. Workforce planning, I've said it before, make sure you're onto it. Now the next thing I thought I'd just touch on is this phrase that we used to hear all the time, and we're not hearing it much these days, and it was that common request of, I need someone that can hit the ground running. Now we're not seeing that so much these days. We know why it happened during the low economy and the GFC years, because you needed surefire people that could absolutely do the job. But now the secret is to actually find and hire people with potential. So I was walking through the airport the other day and I came across this magazine, and it probably comes as, apart from the cute little picture on the front, the actual talent component really caught my attention. It's a download article so you can read it yourselves, but it actually does talk about how to identify and spot potential and the reasons as to why this is so important. So just to give you some insight, I thought I'd give you 4 of the key areas to look for. Now first of all, curiosity, someone that's really interested in the outside world. Secondly, an individual who has insight and can actually make connections and join dots. Thirdly, engagement, and an individual that actually does have that ability to draw a team together and really harness their skills and expertise in a key project. And the last one is determination. The individual that can grit through it, even in the face of adversity, not be set back by the knockbacks, and carry on regardless. Now look, the article's great. Just for your information, it's the June issue. It's a fantastic resource, and I thoroughly encourage you to actually read it and make the most of it, because this is where it's at. It's not about today, it's about hiring potential that can take your business through all the challenges and changes of tomorrow. And this is where this whole notion of hybrid roles is becoming very apparent, but we'll touch on those in another market update. Now the final point to touch on is the rise of the intrapreneur inside organisations. Now Frog has been running a very successful breakfast series this year, and we're delighted with the attendance, sell-out crowds every time, one more to come actually a little bit later in the year. But the whole notion of the intrapreneur has been something that's been very fascinating. We've been asked about it a lot as well, so just for your information I thought we'd talk about what an intrapreneur is and how you spot them. So firstly, these are these individuals inside your organisation who are a little bit rebellious. I mean, once upon a time they would have actually irritated you, but now in today's environment and climate, these are the ones that actually can create breakthrough, innovation, find connections and draw conclusions that may actually have been overlooked by the organisation in previous times. Now, in order to spot them, or in fact determine whether you are one, I have a list of attributes that may apply to you or people inside your organisation, because this is where the intrapreneur is found and this is their behaviour. Now, first of all, they're visionary. They're people that do push the boundaries. They're not happy to be contained in the box. They actually want to look outside, which is that curiosity coming into play. Secondly, they love transparency and communication. They want to know that there's a platform that they can talk about their ideas with. Reward and recognition is also really important. So environments that foster idea generation are right on the button when it comes to making intrapreneurs feel at home. The next thing they need is some freedom to move. So if they're pinned down and buttoned down too tightly, then you'll be stifling the very innovation that could occur. So it's giving that latitude to projects and stretch thinking that really will bring the best out. The next thing really is the whole notion of being able to fail. Now, we all talk about, oh, our environment fosters failure, but really does it? Because from failure becomes learning, and from learning becomes success. And this is where the entrepreneur thrives, because they need to be really supported with strong, positive reinforcement that allows them to learn, retrace their steps, and go again. And finally, the intrapreneur is a salesperson, as everyone in your business should be. They are persistent, they'll push through even when the chips are down, and most of all, they love being rewarded and recognised for the work that they do. So if this sounds like you, or you have individuals in your organisation that fit the bill, encourage them, foster their development, and really stand back and let's see what the organisation can achieve over the next few years. So that's it from me this month. I trust all's well with you and your world, and as I said at the very beginning, please don't hesitate to contact us on any topic whatsoever. We're here to help.